Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Full-Time Sports Network's Cop Talk. As usual, we are here on our Thursday night, 10 o'clock. Like, share, subscribe. Do remember it's the only place to be at 10 on a Thursday night. We're going to say good evening, Brother Stoney. How are we doing, sir?
Good evening. I'm fine. It's good to be back. Missed out on 1 week, but managed to see the rerun of you guys' amazing show last week Thursday. So I'm glad to be back, man.
Brilliant. It's always a pleasure to have you on board, brother. Always a pleasure. Oh, big shouts goes out to Mr. Trim in the comments there. Big shouts, Trim. How you doing, my brother? Nice to have you on board. Okay, so it was all about Liverpool Arsenal. First time round, they got away with it and beat us 3-2. This time round, I must say, Stoney, first 20-25 minutes.
Yeah.
Actually, do you know what? To the way we've been playing, I had very little feeling, I'm going to be honest. I was like, all right, here we go. Here we go again. And it was even worse because my young daughter, she's now really getting into football. She's been playing football. She's been playing for the school team. She's had a tournament down at QPR. She's been asking me for a kit. And she actually came downstairs to actually sit and watch the game with me.
Class.
So you can imagine it was hurting even more to watch us losing. Yeah, I'm telling you. So, but she's really getting into it now. So anyway. And then 25, 30 minutes in all of a sudden, and it's like, we just found another gear, man. What happened, man?
Do you know, it's a strange one as well. I think it's an interesting one as well. You probably, I shouldn't say you know, pundits and everybody else out there have been saying it almost appeared that we, as a players, we weren't invigorated until the incident happened with Xhaka. I dispel that moment. I think the thing is with Xhaka, everybody knows what he brings to the table. I think this season he's really played good for Arsenal. I'm just putting it out there as well. We always know he's going to have that other side to his character. But listen, the one thing I actually like when you've got players that have actually got personality and characters, they know how to look after themselves. And, you know, as I said, he's played really well this season for Arsenal as well in various roles. You know, he's played the number 6, he's played various 8s, but I actually thought he had a good game. But you're right. The first probably 30, 35 minutes, I mean, going into the game, and it's a strange one, I don't mind saying this. I kept saying, listen, as long as we get a draw, then I'll be happy for 2 reasons. One, I want us to make sure we kept our record because Arsenal haven't beaten us at Anfield since Arteta was playing. The other side of it is I have to be realistic. We are not going to win the league. So let Arsenal drop some points. At least Man City is going to win it. I'm bad mind. I don't care. I'm just going to put it out there. All right. But as you said, that those first 30 minutes, Arsenal played with so much fluidity in that game. You have to give it credit to how Arteta and the coaching staff has actually set up that team in such a short period of time. So tactics-wise, I think up until the 30 minutes, Arteta would have been elated. I know a lot of my friends who are on my WhatsApp groups were very happy with the score that they obviously got underway at Anfield. But you're right, after that, something just happened, RT, and we just completely changed. I don't know what happened. We transformed into the team that played against Man United when we beat them 7-0. But the game just turned. It just turned. Brilliant, absolutely amazing game. As you said, there was so much things to actually speak about. And at some stage we'll get onto about the incident with one of the officials. But in terms of the way that our team played, I was very impressed. And I said, you know, you have to give Jack the jacket. Arsenal actually played quite well as well. So and obviously Ramsey played amazing in goal. But I just think it was a brilliant game to watch. My heart was beating as a Liverpool supporter, but I think that would have been an amazing game to watch as well. Very, very, very good game.
Yeah, definitely. It was a great game for the neutrals. Everybody was saying that. I've had my phone's been blowing, like all my WhatsApp groups been playing, talking about what a brilliant game is, talking about from Chelsea, Liverpool, Man United fan, all different kind of fans, what a brilliant game of football it was to watch. And I must say, it definitely was. It definitely was. What do you make of Trent's new role then?
Do you know what was quite interesting? And I'm glad it actually happened as well, you know. So watch this, right? I know we've probably been speaking about this on numerous occasions, whether it's, myself, whether it's yourself, whether it's been Tabrice, whether it's been Preds, whether it's been Bingy when he was on here, whether it was KV when it was on here as well. And the one thing we've actively and passionately spoken about is Klopp tweaking his systems, tweaking personnel, tweaking how he wants players to play. All right. And the last few seasons, Trent, for various reasons, has had a bit of a raw deal. So I'm glad that what he done, he switched him. So yeah, we did still have the back four, but it's almost as if he allowed Trent to move from that right back position to play in. Sometimes he was playing like a sweeper to pick the ball up from Alisson, and then sometimes then he was playing near Fabinho, and then he was in front of Fabinho. I'm thinking, what? He's got like a free roll all of a sudden, drifting in from that right back position. So it's something we've obviously seen Pep do with Cancelo, and we've obviously seen a few managers actually do that with Reece James, at Chelsea as well. But it was fluid. Trent seemed to relish in that position for this particular game. And yeah, it was just nice, obviously, watching him. Very nice.
Good evening, Mr. R&B. How we doing, sir?
I'm good. How is everyone?
We're good, man. We're good, brother. We're just talking about, what did you make of Trent's new role then?
You know what? Stoney's kind of summed it up really. He kind of looks like he looked re-energized. He looked focused, and again, it literally gave the Arsenal players something to actually think about. And again, we all know Trent's strengths, and rightly or wrongly, depending on what side you sit on, he's been in the limelight this season. But I mean, again, against Arsenal, I thought he played really, really well, and it for me, it is a position, and also, well, it's not even just a position, but again, it just reaffirms his football IQ in terms of what he can do. And again, it's kind of something in the future that I would kind of definitely like to see.
And you know why Tabrice is correct in saying that, and that's such a brilliant point as well. It was quite interesting as well that it took place in this game against Arsenal, and this is just my opinion, right? I think, and we're just speaking about the Arsenal players. I think Ramsdale's played really well, but so did Martinelli. So the fact that Martinelli played the left forward, which would have been like the 1-on-1 to Trent. So considering Martinelli had such an amazing game on that side, and then Klopp still allowed Trent to actually move into that new position, I also thought that was actually quite bold as well, because that could have been the reverse way if you think of it. You know what I mean? So yeah, I just thought it was bold. I think it worked, and as Tabrice was said, it just energized him, man. And I thought it was really good. Really, really, really good.
Okay, so Vinny, good evening, Vinny. Vinny says Trent showed some skill as well because he didn't back down. Billy says that honestly, first 25 to 30 minutes was Arsenal, then Xhaka messed up and riled up the Liverpool fans, which wrote the Liverpool players up. Pipe71, good evening, Pipes. Nice to have you on board. He says, as an outsider looking in, Plastic Macho Man Xhaka woke the Liverpool players up, and more importantly, the fans. Before that, Arsenal were cruise mode, murdering Liverpool, but I was thankful for Xhaka. Trent showed a lot of heart, and also he got stuck in and tried. Okay. All right, we'll get back to some more comments in a minute. What do you call it? Also did that. Pep also did that move in. Stones
as well.
In front of the back four.
Yeah.
Well, similar move. Trent has definitely got. He's a footballer, 100%. He's a footballer. You can see it. He's got natural talent. He's a footballer, but I'm not sure about him staying as a right back. I don't think it's going to work, to be honest. I think he's been found out. He's going to be targeted. I think he needs to find a new position, to be honest. To be 100% honest, he needs to find a new position. Or he needs to find somebody who's going to do that work for him when he goes forward. Who's going to stay for him.
The only thing that I'd counteract against that is I kind of look in it is as twofold, right? So what's Trent? I don't know, is he like 24 or something like that?
23, 24, yeah.
23, 24. So I think it's evident and it's clear what his offensive qualities are for Liverpool, and when he's obviously played for the national team as well. I think our coaching needs to support him develop the defensive side of it as well, but also hopefully when we do have a little bit more stability with our midfielders, hopefully then it will allow Trent to play what we've seen him play like in previous seasons, because then we've got the midfield player supporting him defensively. Mm-hmm. So I think it's tweaks in tactics, defensive support from our coaching staff, and obviously having somebody in front of him to support him defensively on that side to allow him to get closer to Salah or whipping those balls, or if he does go offensively as well. And as you said, I'm not a manager, I'm just putting it out there. So if he does push up, then one of the defensive midfielders cover him, or one of the defenders step over. Similarly to what you were just mentioning about what Pep did with Stones. I mean, in that last game against Bayern Munich, that was heavy. Stones and Akanji, they kept switching. So when Stones stepped up into midfield to play against Rodri, Akanji just slipped over towards the right. So they kept going towards a back three. And the transition was smooth. I understand that's a lot of coaching. That is a lot of coaching, a lot of understanding. But as Tabri said, this is a player with very high player and intelligence IQ. And I'm confident Trent is one of a numerous amount of players that we currently have that can be coached to play in a different way, if need be, by Klopp.
Well, as you just said there, Stoney, Pipes has said quite a bit there. Like, I think that Trent has been a scapegoat for Liverpool's ills and it's lazy. I personally think he can be coached to be more defensive minded, and also you need younger legs in midfield to protect him. Don't move him.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I think when Hendo was in his prime, you know, Henderson would actually support him a lot more, and again, I think it's been really evident this season. I know that we've spoken about like the midfield and whatnot, and you know, we have been talking about Trent, but I just want to say a glass half full scenario. We are talking about Trent, and we're talking about his potential weakness. But actually, what I love about it is that we're not talking about selling him. We are talking about how can we use his strengths to our benefit. We have not mentioned about selling him to anyone. And like, there's some players where their weaknesses are so bad, you're saying, you know what, get them out of the club, X, Y, and Z. So, you know, I think this is a really positive way to kind of try to get the best out of Trent.
Once again, gentlemen, poor defending allowed Arsenal to go 2 up. Could you just imagine if we, after that, if we started the game how we played after 30 minutes? Could you imagine what it would have been like?
Yeah.
Why did it take to us to wait 30 minutes to wake up? I don't get it.
I don't know.
Well, you know what? Credit to Arsenal. They like smelt blood and they really went for us. I think I think Van Dijk probably was ball watching a little bit for their second goal. Robertson's not the best in the air, and again, you know what, at 2-0, I was thinking, okay, I was thinking, okay, this is like not gonna be a pleasant show, but no, we like showed them character, and I know that you guys are probably going to talk about the Xhaka Trent situation, so I don't want to talk about that as yet.
No, we can get into that, man. We can get into that, definitely. Definitely can get into that. Vinny says that will Trent's new role work against the likes of Forest and Palace and the likes?
We'll wait to see. We'll wait to see. Yeah, we'll wait to see.
Football at this, end when it comes to elite, everyone that plays in the Premiership, they are all elite footballers. It now just comes down to confidence and just making those split decisions and kind of make sure that those decisions go for you. And the more those decisions and the phase of play happen in a positive way, you will see the likes of not only Trent, but again, the most of the Liverpool squad actually grow in confidence. So yeah, I can't see why it won't work, against Forest and Palace and whoever it is. It's it's like it really kind of does that come down to like if Klopp wants to play that way and giving Trent and other players the room to be successful and also the room to fail if things don't go right.
Okay. So staying with Trent, he made me so happy because this couldn't happen to a person I can't stand even more. Is the nuts on Zinchenko? Oh my God.
Yeah, that was needed.
Made my day.
It was needed.
He gets on my nerves, like I'm not gonna lie. He's gone to Arsenal like he's Charlie Big Balls, you know what I mean? Like he's taking over in the middle of the flipping when they're all huddled. He's giving the talk, and Odegaard's the captain. Look at this guy, like, all right, because you've come from City, rude boy, yeah, but you know what? You was benched most time at City. You weren't even playing. You know what I mean? He was on the bench now. Now he thinks he's a big boy down there. But that was so sweet. And then to see his reaction afterwards, to see the tears and him crying and that was just like, yeah, I actually love that. Well,
because you're right. There was not only was a nutmeg, but it was an end product. So the fact that it was a nutmeg, and then it was a dink over to Bobby to actually score. You're right. The whole everything to do with that. You're right. Was sweet. Very good.
Sweet. Apparently, they was actually trying to get him off.
Okay.
Before that, they actually wanted to take him off. Just before that. So yeah, I'm glad it didn't happen.
Never mind.
Yeah, I'm glad it didn't happen. Mate. Lovely job, I tell you. Yeah, that one did sweet me for ages. I was rewinding that and watching that again. I was like, oh.
Do you know something? Just before we move on, you were mentioning about the Trent and Xhaka duel. There's something I just, and it just may have been me watching with my hazy stream that I watched the game in. But I thought it was quite interesting. So the first goal, it was Martinelli that scored the first goal, right?
Yeah.
I think that was actually quite interesting in seeing. Oh gosh, I'm just gonna say it, and I don't mind what you guys say to me or anybody else. Both of those goals, Robbo was in the most two bizarre positions. So for that, so the first goal with Martinelli, I actually thought was an own goal.
I thought so as well.
Yeah, Robinson got caught out of position, and then I saw him tracking back. But the position originally, the way in which he came back and he was alongside Martinelli, I thought, crumbs. Robbo was out of position, he's tracked back and he scored an own goal. That's what I originally thought, right? So his positioning was a little bit bizarre there. Hey, don't matter, Martinelli got it. But also for the Jesus scored the header, didn't he? Even when that ball got whipped in, it was weird because Robinson, even though I know the ball, what's his name, Van Dijk's positioning was a little bit off. You know what? It was poor, Van Dijk's positioning. But Robbo got caught flush by Jesus. Because even when you see Robbo and anybody else in the feed, or you can look it back after the show as well, Robbo ducked. The ball's come in, Jesus, because it's coming from the left, right? Robbo's come to jump, but no, he hasn't jumped. It's almost as he's put his shoulder to come down, and I'm thinking, you haven't even attempted to come. He wasn't even goal side. He wasn't even goal side when that ball actually came in. So the ball's come over from that left-hand side. It's come over from Van Dijk, and Robbo's kind of gone with his shoulder, and Jesus is headed the ball in. It's an M2. It may be me nitpicking, but Robbo, I think, is at fault for both of those.
Yeah, I mean, Robbo's not not the best aerially. But again, it's the fact that if like that was Trent, that would be all over the back pages and people will be talking about it. So yeah, you know what, you are absolutely right. It was poor defending. It was
very
poor.
once again, very poor defending.
Yeah,
But
very,
gents,
very, very,
I've had conversations since that with Arsenal fans who are telling me that we were lucky, that we got off lightly, and I'm like, excuse me, on the chances created, and the clear-cut chances created, you lot should have got spanked.
Definitely. I mean,
Really
I wonder that would have been quite interesting for your Arsenal community to obviously extend on it, because I'm thinking of it this way. We're talking about clear-cut opportunities. So we saw Salah miss for the penalty.
Yeah.
We saw when Darwin Núñez came on the pitch, that chance is 1-on-1. And I think it was his first touch was so heavy that it bounced off his other foot. And then he almost went down. And then he kind of hit it at Ramsdale. Whereas if his second touch was sweet, he could have clipped it over Ramsdale. So there was that chance there as well. I think earlier in the game as well.
Konate,
thank you. Even that, Konate.
You're right. Don't forget Salah had another chance where he could have volleyed, where he was kind of pulled back, could have volleyed it in, and then hit it off the shin and it went over.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Earlier in the game as well, Robert had a chance and he flashed straight across the goal as well. Past Ramsdale. So you're right. Even if we just think of those isolated opportunities and the brilliance of Ramsdale in goal, I'm trying to think where the Arsenal supporters probably would have said we got off lightly. And bearing in mind, I know stats sometimes can be deceptive. I think in total we had like 21 shots.
Yeah.
10 of those were on target,
Yeah.
So
exactly.
I'm just thinking, I don't think we got off lightly.
Exactly. That's why I couldn't understand that myself. I definitely couldn't understand that. Definitely. But I'm gonna say, for this season, I don't think I've seen a keeper have a better performance.
Yeah, he was all over the place. He was on fire, man.
How he's not England's number one.
I just having the same conversation.
I know it's mad. It's crazy.
It's criminal.
Yeah.
It's criminal. And once again, it goes for me. Is managers picking on form, or is it favourites?
For me, it has. For me, and this is my opinion, I think it has to be favourites. We had a show. Who was England's last fixture? Who did they play the last game? Because we did a show before then, didn't we?
Italy, Ukraine.
Was it Ukraine?
Yeah, when we did that show, yeah.
All right, brilliant. So I think it was on the show we were having a discussion about possible. because when we realized that Harry Maguire got picked, we were thinking about alternative England defenders.
Yeah.
And I think we mentioned that it would have been good to see Tomori in there. One of the defenders, I don't mind them just putting it out there, that I completely forgot to actually mention at the time, and it popped up. They don't play for Liverpool or Arsenal, but it popped up during the game. Lewis Dunk's been playing all right for Brighton, hasn't he, this season?
Yeah.
Dunk's English, right?
Yeah.
So I think, how comes he's not in the fold? I could be wrong, but I thought, I was looking back and I'm thinking Dunk's actually played all right for England. Whether he's going to get a call up or not, I have no idea. People may disagree, but he just popped up in my mind. And I thought, how comes he's not even getting a look in either? If you're looking at players that have actually played okay or consistently over this season, I could be wrong. I don't know.
No. It's another good shot, man. It's another good shot. And it's like these players are not going to get a look in.
Well, I mean,
not in a fashionable club.
What does Ramsdale have to do? If like Arsenal win the Premiership, and if Ramsdale's not number one in the Euros, then
crazy, isn't it?
It's madness.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It is. It's nuts. And for me though, as well, as the player, that must be very downhearted, man. Because it's like, what do I need to do?
Yeah.
You understand? I'm a Premier League winner. Do you know what I mean? I've played outstanding all season, and you're still not picking me. It's like, what's the point?
Fair.
Yeah, it's a joke. Anyway, let's move on to the comments. Pipe says, To be fair, Stones is playing like I dare say an old school Beckenbauer. Pepper's done an amazing job with him and cannot deny his ability to improve players. And VVD, I think he's dropped off a cliff form-wise. For me, hasn't been the same player since his return from injury, but Pete seems scared to talk the reality regarding him.
I think that's a good comment as well. Was it was his ACL that he did, wasn't it? On his knee. I think there's a lot of players who don't even there's a lot of players who don't even return back to football from having injuries like that. You know, we need to be blessed that he's in a good position, that he's been able to return back to play for our amazing club and also return back to the national team as well. But maybe the injuries had a partial impact on his performance, but I'd only mention on that as well. Pipes, thanks once again for tuning in today to our show as well. It's not just Virgil's performance that hasn't been at its best this season. So I think, and I'm not speaking about you, Pipes, on this is just my opinion. If we're just looking at Virgil van Dijk, then I think we might be nitpicking because none of the Liverpool players have played at the level that we expect them or they expect of ourselves this season. But yeah, I think the injury probably has had an impact on Virgil van Dijk. But in saying that, Ibrahima had a beautiful game at centre back against Arsenal, man, and I just
some of them
blessed that we have him in our club, man.
Some of them challenges that wanted to put back on my boots, rude boy. I tell you, listen, that's what I'm talking about, man. Get stuck in. I love that. And well done, the ref, for letting them go and all. I tell you, love that, mate. Show them what time it is. Tabrice, what do you reckon? Is it Van Dijk's injury or what? Do people say that they reckon he's scared to get injured again?
I think it's a bit of everything. Of course, it's probably the worst injury a footballer could actually get. He's a year older or 2 years older now. Klopp still plays with that highish line. So as players, the more you run, the more miles you're going to put on the clock. So the more wear and tear that your body's going to receive, and also as well that it's crystal clear as Liverpool fans when we watch our team play, the midfield are not holding their own. So we have seen a lot more, I'd say, 3-on-3s, 2-on-3s. We've been seeing a lot more crosses into our box. Alisson's probably been a lot more busier this season than he's ever been. And Van Dijk is just one player, he's, every player will always make a mistake. And as a defender, your mistakes are highlighted. How many mistakes has, not just Salah, but our offensive players have made, but no one can really nitpick because, if you could have missed one chance, you might get another 2 or 3 minutes later. But, as a centre back, and again, it just proves how good Virgil has actually been for us. How we are kind of looking at his kind of standalone performances. Football's changed now, and do I think he was rushed back? Possibly, but it's just one of those things. I also believe players are human beings. Like when you're injured, or actually once you've done something that's really kind of shocked the body, you are afraid to go through that situation or that kind of environment again, knowing something like that can happen, because it just shows that you're not invincible.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, definitely. An interesting comment, Pipes. He says, I'd have Pope over Ramsdale.
Pope's played good this season as well. That's interesting. I mean, both of them are in a reckoning as well, because it's. I think the goalkeepers that are up there. So it's Pickford, but I'm just thinking who Southgate usually picks. So it's in a squad. So it's Pickford, Pope, Ramsdale, and he actually had
Henderson was up there as well.
What's his name? Johnston.
Henderson was up there as well.
Yeah, Henderson, but at some stage he had Johnston in the squad. Johnson, he plays for Crystal Palace, is that right? I think he plays for Crystal Palace.
Yeah, is it Sam Johnson?
I think so. Yeah. He was in the. I'm sure he plays for Crystal Palace. He's actually a good goalkeeper as well. I forgot about Henderson. Yeah.
I think what it is when you're kind of picking a team, not like just the national team, but a team, you can look at the players that have played, especially for England anyway, the goalkeepers, and you actually have to look at who has made the biggest impact for their respective club. And Ramsdale has made the biggest impact, because if they had Leno in goal, they wouldn't be where they are now. If they had, I don't know who else they could have in goal before Ramsdale, but they wouldn't be where they are. Ramsdale has definitely saved Arsenal 15 points a season, and that's what you want from your goalkeeper.
Of 100%. Yeah, man, massive impact. I must say, massive impact. Yeah, it was. But question, gentlemen, what was Konate doing?
What that? You know what? It's a strange.
Doing?
No,
you know what I think it is. It's harsh, because you know what? You see when the balls come in.
What?
Yeah.
I think he's tried. I think he was in two minds, because there's no way that he could have got it with his head.
No way.
This is just me, right? There's no way he could have got it with his head, and the positioning is no way he could have got it with his foot. So I think he's tried to come down with his chest, but I just think also in that split second he's contacted it correctly. But don't underestimate how quickly Ramsdale got over, because I thought when that ball came over, I think wicked, that's a goal, Konate. Ramsdale's change of position to get down that quick was very, very, very quick, very like split second. So I think it was one of those. Konate did the right thing. It's just that Ramsdale's awareness was just on point in that situation as well. I don't know. It was just that thin line there, man.
100%.
I don't care what you say, man. You're supposed to score from there. I don't care.
No.
We would love to. I don't think there's anything
you
know
what? As far as I'm concerned, and and the kind of thing that I can remember, like my manager saying to me when I was playing, it would have been me, ball, keeper, grass, everything in the net. Everything's going in. 100%. There's no way. I'm not like that, but I'm going. Everything's going in the net. 100%.
I think if it was either Darwin, Salah, Gakpo, I think their reactions would have been different, because they are expected to score those particular types of goals. So I think in training they would have it does come down to muscle memory, and I just don't think Konate's muscle memory was honestly it is. That's just not the position that Konate would have ever thought he would actually be in. But yeah, I mean, Ramsdale again, it's an amazing save.
No, it is a big save, but he was given the opportunity to make the save. That's what I'm trying to say. You should have had no opportunity from there, as far as I'm concerned, to make that save. Vinny says that Pickford has got a lot to answer for. Yeah, because I'm sure if we all remember that he didn't even get sent off when he made that tackle on Van Dijk. That knee-high tackle that he got away with. Flipping assault, mate. Alisson has been one of your most consistent performers, says Billy. Yep, definitely. And even with the defense being poor, Alisson's level has stayed the same. Billy goes on to say that he plays centre-back and he broke his foot. And he says, and now he's been more scared than ever to get stuck in like he used to. So definitely, yeah, we know it's psychological. We definitely know that. It does have that effect. Pipe says, limbo dancing, hashtag Konate. And he goes on to Stoney, I think Konate took some brown envelopes from As far as I was concerned, when I saw that ball come across and I saw Konate coming on, I was already up and celebrating, saying, yes, 3-2. We've reversed it on them. I was in shock.
I think he was as well.
Yeah, like, what the heck? How did that happen?
Oh boy.
Absolutely
Moments.
crazy.
But yeah, brilliant game. For the neutral, brilliant game. The way in which we galvanized, we took stock, and a way in which we actually got back in that game as well. I think more so as well. taking into account that we haven't really played good performances since playing against Manchester United. So that game against Arsenal could have gone numerous ways. So the fact that we ended up getting a draw, and also after the 30 minutes of performance, the manner in which we actually played, I think for me, those are a lot of the positives as well.
Oh, definitely. But the thing is, where this performance just came out like the team just got galvanized all of a sudden during the match. It wasn't even like after half time, after the manager's giving them a rollicking. During the match, they pulled it together, started to bring things back. Why are we not seeing more of this? What is it about? I don't understand. It's the same personnel.
Yeah.
On the pitch. Why are we not seeing more of this?
Yeah.
I don't know what to say.
Yeah, because like I said, it's the same people on the pitch.
Yeah.
And for me, I was watching that performance, and I'm like, we actually look like a little like what we used to look like, man. And we're dangerous. We're creating chances after chances, and you know what I mean? We're on them. And I'm like, where have you not been all season?
No, it's true. It was a strange one. As you said, we managed to put that performance in as well with Curtis Jones in midfield, who, let's be honest, hasn't really played the best. I'm just putting it out there because this player still frustrates me. He played an hour. He was involved in that transition in the first half, Curtis Jones.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying even more. How on earth did that happen? I have no idea.
So Reece, man, you looked a bit stressed when that name got mentioned. Man.
Listen, when I saw Curtis Jones in the starting 11, I was like, oh, it's like, are we just gonna gift wrap the 3 points to Arsenal right now? But no, honestly, it's I don't know. Liverpool frustrate me, and I know in terms of the Xhaka and the Trent situation, I mean, I think that's a poor excuse to say that was the incident that literally woke us up, because I mean, I don't think Xhaka did anything Xhaka wouldn't do anyway.
That's what I said before.
Yeah, that was normal. That was typical him.
Yeah, that's typical him, and like Trent also likes to get involved as well. So it's I don't know. Honestly, I really genuinely do not know.
Yeah,
but it's funny because it seems that 90% of people seem to think that was the incident that turned the match.
No,
and even people I speak to, they obviously they know me. They're like, why did my man Xhaka go and do that to you lot, man? You know what I mean? Why did he do that? That's when you lot turn around and.
I don't think it was just that, and for me, the reason why I probably don't want to believe that is that because then it's making me think then.
Oh, someone get
the crowd went on board. It's then making me think that it's then me thinking that our players weren't really. Sorry, yeah.
You froze.
What I was saying was if
you think that.
Yeah, that I wouldn't. For me personally, I wouldn't want to think that the incident with Xhaka was the flame for us to change the manner in which we was playing, because then I'm then thinking to myself, then why wasn't the crowd already ready for that?
Oops.
Okay. Yeah, but as Tabriz was saying, that's Xhaka all of the time anyway. Brilliant player. He's played good this season, but we know what his characteristics are like anyway. But there was just something there. Don't know what it was, but it seemed to work. And I don't think it was Xhaka.
Okay. Billy says that Konate looked like he panicked and he didn't know what to do with it. Billy's also saying he reckons it's a mix of the fans and motivation. What made the players turn around? A lot of press beforehand was saying that they see Liverpool winning. Yeah, okay. I didn't read that. And the fans were quiet for so long until they woke up and started cheering and got behind the players, which is something I haven't seen in a while. He's got to upgrade his Wi-Fi.
Billy's
yeah, man.
You froze it again.
Yeah, you've edit. As that happens, you keep freezing now, bro. I don't know what's going on. Liverpool did not look motivated before the Xhaka Trent incident. See, everyone seems to be seeing this. Like,
you know what? I mean, there are certain games, and literally from amateur to elite, sometimes someone can put in a big challenge or like a big header or something, and that can galvanize a team, that can galvanize the crowd as well. Yes. So yeah, there's I guess there's that element in it as well. But yeah, we like, I think the goal before halftime. Oh yeah, I mean that just I think the halftime team talk definitely changed because of that goal.
Yeah, definitely 100%. What did he say? Yeah, Billy's too busy cracking up. He is absolutely cracking up. I'm telling you, if we could, mate, I'll tell you, Billy would be on there every week. I'm sure he'd even do a show by himself. I'm telling you, I just say, Bill,
he's a top man. Bill, absolute top man.
Bill, this is actually Liverpool Arsenal. You support Chelsea, bro. Coffee in this one, mate. Yeah. So Vinny is saying, this is a good one as well. No more pens for Salah. So, gentlemen, he went 14 without missing one, and now he's missed 2 in a row. As a manager, what do you do now? Do you say, it's time to give somebody else a chance, or do you keep faith in this guy?
Listen, you know what? I still keep faith in Salah. The only reason why I'm thinking that, I could be completely wrong, all right? So I'm thinking in my own head here, right? If Salah is not the penalty taker, who else will step up to take the penalty for Liverpool? So bearing in mind here, right? Thiago can take penalties. It's not always in the frame there, right?
Fabinho.
But you know what?
Fabinho.
You know what?
Fabinho.
I was just about. Thank you. Yeah. You caught me there, Archie. Yeah. As soon as I was thinking who else. You got me.
Even Vinny's on it.
Yeah, you got me on that one.
You're right. Even Van Dijk.
Yeah, that's true.
Vinny's saying Trent as well.
Yeah. No, I would like give it to Fabs, because I know that he was taking the penalties at Monaco.
Yeah.
And yeah. So,
and he's done it in when we've had the shootouts as well.
Yeah.
Nonchalantly.
You're right.
He does. He takes his nonchalantly. Billy's killing me, right? Billy's got an FC shirt. Hey, he's serious, I've seen it. He's actually got an LFC shirt now.
No, that's class. That's class.
I'm telling you. This guy's serious, mate. He's serious. Say me personally, I would not let Salah go near the spot. I would be putting Virgil.
Well, it means we've got more options than I originally thought. So that's even better then, isn't it?
You know, Virgil Van Dijk used to bang in free kicks and that as well,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, when he was at Celtic and that as well, he used to bang in free kicks, bro. Yeah. Good set piece taker as well. Oh, good evening, Mr. Monday Juma. Mr. from the Man United Agenda. We will be seeing them on the 7th of May down there at the Road Rainers Lane. Cock Talk versus the Man United Agenda.
Light work.
Yeah, Mr. Monday Jim has been putting out his messages as he does. You hear me?
Light work.
You must think he's alongside Don King. You hear me? It's all right, bro. It's all right. What a great second half performance. Beautiful. Anfield is immense. You ain't on form, but got a result versus a good side.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir. Don't worry. Make sure you got no ringers for the Cock Talk. Let's Man United Agenda match. See? We don't need ringers. That shows you don't worry, bro. We don't need ringers. Bro, we don't need ringers. Yeah.
It's going to be good. The only person who's going to be missing for that is that it's not going to be on that is it DAZN channel? And KSI ain't going to be the top bill. Other than that, it's going to be amazing on Sunday, the 7th of May, man.
He says he's looking forward to twist us free up. Only thing you need to twist is your locks, bro. Only thing you need to twist. Yeah. I'm looking forward to this now, trust me.
Very good.
Yeah, we know that, really. Yeah, as we were saying, he was doing bits of Celtic. I think he has the composure to do what's needed from the spot. Pipe saying, nah, Salah is fine for pens. He only missed because the football gods have decreed them goons must win the title. But why did he miss against Bournemouth then? I'm sure that one's still traveling. It is, Billy, it's the 7th of May. Yeah, 7th of May down at Rayners Lane.
Yeah. So it's what's it called? Thai Farm Social Club.
That's the one, Thai Farm Social.
150 Rayners Lane, Harrow, HA2. I think it's 9OH. But if you just type in Rayners Lane Football Club, Sunday 7th of May, we'll be down there.
Yeah, and it's literally a 5-minute walk from Rayners Lane train station, gentlemen, as well.
What time's kickoff?
Our kickoff's going to be our kickoff's going to be at 3 o'clock. So there will be a series of games taking place that day. Our game will kick off at 3 o'clock. There will be a game kicking off at 1 o'clock, I believe, as well. There's a football tournament before then.
Yes.
So come down and support us. It's a wonderful club. They got parking there. They got lovely facilities. Bring the family down. Come down and enjoy the day. More importantly, come down to support.
Come down and witness what's going to happen.
And the Man United agenda. It's going to be amazing. You can manage to see Artie and Tabrice in real life. For all the fans out there. Come and bring your marker pens and get your autographs. Okay?
Mr. R&B's used to that. You know what I mean? I'm not. Good evening, Demos. Nice to have you on board. So you running a bit late today, mate. Demos is an Arsenal fan.
Yeah.
So Demos, let us know in the comments what you thought of the game. Do you think it was a fair result? Do you think you boys should have won? Do you think we should have won? Let us know in the comments how you felt about that game. Billy, you are killing me, man. Billy says gonna bring his boots just in case and his LFC shirt. This guy, but bro, you just told me you're scared to get stuck in now, so you might have snuck in there, but because you're scared to get stuck in now, I don't know about that, mate. This is gonna be no holds barred. You know what I mean? It's gonna be serious out there. There's a lot of pride to play for. You know what I mean? Okay, gentlemen. It's getting to that time now, and I believe that we quickly need to talk about this linesman and Robbo. And have you heard the news that the linesman has now apologized and there's no further action?
Oh,
wow.
No.
I didn't hear that.
Yes. I didn't hear that.
That's
you know what?
Official news on Sky Sports.
That's disheartening because you know what? If anything, then, right, the reason why for me that's extremely disheartening, right? So, and this is me making this comment not with my Liverpool head on, right? So this is not with my Liverpool head on, all right? So when a similar incident happened with a player putting their hand on an official a few games ago, Mitrovic, perfect, right? I think the FA wanted to make an example of that. Right? So that's not just with the fine, but that's also with the amount of games that he's going to miss. All right. So this is the first time, to my knowledge, that we've seen an official do this as well. Shouldn't they make a statement with that as well? An apology, I think, is 100%. Absolutely diabolical. So regardless of what Robbo's actually said to him, his actions by that fourth official, everybody can actually see. An apology does not cut it for me. Not one bit. Doesn't cut it.
Tabrice?
All right, listen, I echo that. I put out a video regarding Mitrovic, and literally I said it was a disgrace in terms of what Mitrovic did to the official. And yeah, I'm gonna keep that the same energy. It was disgraceful what the official did to Robbo. Yes, Robbo can be a bit of a clown sometimes, but I mean, again, what does that say to anyone that plays football, that watches football from whatever level? It's like one rule for you and one rule for us.
Exactly. And the reason why I'm so surprised at that is that, like we're talking about, what has happened so recently with Mitrovic.
Exactly.
It's not like it was weeks ago this has happened, and then this opportunity comes up now, and it's like you're back in this lino, like what? Just apologize. So why couldn't Mitrovic just apologize then?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I mean, I think also for our younger viewers, something similar happened with Di Canio when like he like pushed the referee.
Yeah, he did. Yes.
And I believe he like got, is it a 10 or 11 match ban?
Something like that. Yeah.
So I know Mitrovic's push wasn't as ferocious as Di Canio's, but he got an 8-match ban. Why would it be lower, especially in this day and age with social media and literally what like we can see and whatnot? But I mean, it just stinks. It does. And again, this is the reason why referees at grassroots level, there's a huge shortage, and again with things like this, it's just not going to help. It's not going to help, and it's awful.
Definitely not. So Amonde says that Tamis is going to get lost in our Bermuda Triangle. Agenda will be balling. We move on from that quickly. He says, Robert was a fool. Lino should not get any headache for this. It was a minor. Please, Amonde, please, you need to elaborate on that and explain how is that a minor. Explain how it's got double standards with what happened a few weeks back with Mitrovic. We really need to explain that, because I'm surprised you would even say that's a minor. Definitely not.
So when you can look at the video, people say that Robbo put his hand on the official, and then the official shrugged him off, but his elbow went into Robbo's face. But the official elbowed Robbo in the face though. Like there's like, telling like someone to get off me, and then there's the kind of elbow.
Thank you.
Movement. And you know what, Tabriz, you've got a point there, because and this is just a query, as he said, this is something that is the first time I've actually seen that. All right, so it's quite interesting, because if a player puts their hand in another player's face, they usually get a card, right? So if you push a player in his face or you elbow in his face, that player gets a card. So there's some form of sanction, right? The ref has actually raised his elbow into Robbo's face. So there should be a sanction. So it's brilliant that Amonde's, and thank you, Amonde. It's good that you've obviously put up your comment here as well. It's not a case of double standards. If you want to judge it as it is, then why was Mitrovic made a scapegoat of that situation? Yeah, you should have judged. Sorry, not you. The league should have judged Mitrovic's situation with the ref as an isolated then, but they didn't. They wanted to make a statement of it, because it's something we haven't seen. Yep. This is something we haven't seen an official do it to a player. So make a statement with the official. That's my point. I could be wrong, but that's just my point on it.
He should be banned.
Yeah.
He should be banned. You cannot do that. There's no two ways about it. Like you said, Tabriz, that was brilliant. Like you said, like get away from me or whatever, but you've raised your elbow to the man's face. Come on, man. No. Bang out of order. And the FA have bottled it for me once again, as they do so many times. Demas, he says, definitely a point gained. I'm glad we never got 7 put past us, as you've done with Manchester. Clubs at home, so definitely a point gained.
Okay.
I asked.
Fair enough.
Okay. Yep. 100%. Billy says, nah, the Lino should be getting a ban. Robbo was wrong for going up to him and putting his hands on him. But if the officials can't just cut your jaw like that, UFC, KO, then this is ridiculous. It is, though. It is ridiculous.
It is. 100%.
It's ridiculous. And imagine, so the Lino's done that. Because of his reaction and whatever, Robbo's then got a yellow. He could have then got another yellow in that game and been sent off. And how are you going to have that kind of animosity between two people and he's still officiating on the game?
Yeah.
It's nuts. Yeah. It's nuts. There's so many other things to it. It's nuts.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
And literally what it is, it's crazy in terms of what Roy Keane said. I know we're not, we don't want to kind of go off into, on another path, but what Roy Keane said is that Robbo was acting like a sport child. But then again, imagine if it was Roy Keane getting elbowed by an official. It'd be like Rocky 5.
I mean, definitely. Definitely. Zinchenko getting Meg pissed me off, ruined my evening. Oh, it made my evening. It made my evening, mate. If you were tuned in from the beginning, you would have heard how happy I was and the glee that I was feeling, mate. I'm telling you, that was sweet. That was sweet. Vinny says the assistant's actions means he's going to get to ref an Old Firm game in Scotland.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Okay, let's see what Monday's got to say in our response. Nah, you guys are wrong. We are out here trying to protect officials as they are always getting abuse, even at grassroots. That we're not disputing that on Monday, but I think what you're failing to realize is we're talking about the referee's actions. Oh, sorry, the liner's actions. Anyway, we keep talking about players should remain professional. So should the linesman not remain professional too? You cannot do that. There is no way you can do that. It's been highlighted. Everyone's seen it, and you've allowed him to get away with it as well. That's what makes it even worse.
One thing
Absolutely disgraceful.
I just hope that we have strong officials. Klopp talk versus United. because I'm telling you right now, my brothers, tackles are flying in. I'm telling you, I don't care. I'm telling you, I don't care if people got work the next day. You should have turned up. You should have turned up.
See, now on Monday, this is where you're killing yourself now. Robbo touched him, he got touched back. Come on now. You know that doesn't work like that in the laws of football. This is not the streets. This is not the streets, bro. In the laws of football, if a man and you retaliate, what happens? You get sent off.
Yeah.
And you know this for a fact. You've been in football long enough to know this. You retaliate, and that's exactly what you've put, basically, in those words, that he's retaliated. You cannot do that. You get sent off. So because he's an official, nothing happens. Absolutely rubbish. Had that happened during a game where a player run up to a player like that and push the player, and then the player turns around and elbows him, he's gone. Especially in the face, he's gone. Yep. He's walking. So there's no two ways about that. As he's saying exactly to these refs, we must protect them. So Breeze must wave his elbows enough times a game. It's a way to protect yourself. This game is going to be fun, I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Oh, please. They are called officials. Why is man touching him up? Disrespect. Ban Robbo. Please.
He's on one today.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah. He's on one.
It's true. If Billy says if Robbo goes down, the liner gets a ban. If his reaction was different,
I don't know.
And he hit the deck after that. They could have made more of it.
No, but you know what? I think he was shocked more so than anything else. Like
he was, of course, he was. Actions. He shrugged off the man with his back turned. Tell players to respect their officials.
Right. Well,
you know what he'll be doing on Monday? I mean, to Brees, take it as a compliment. He's going to be waving his elbows like it's the 1970s. You know what it is? You're going to go. You see when you score that header, he's going to be waving his elbows in frustration.
That's what I'm saying.
Here we got someone with some sense now. He says, I can't believe the match official was allowed to do the second half. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
No way should have been allowed to officiate that game. No way. No way whatsoever. I'm telling you. So, on a whole, gentlemen, would you say it was a fair result?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would. With my rose tinted going into the game, I would have been extremely happy, as I said, for us to actually get a draw. I understand things materialize differently because obviously, as you said, we had the Salah opportunity with the penalty. We had Ibrahim in at the end, and we obviously had Darwin Núñez, which if they had put those other goals in, we would have got the lead. We would have got a victory. But you know what? On reflection, I think a draw is a fair result. I'm happy with a draw anyway. Happy with a draw.
Okay. Billy says no. Explain yourself, Billy. Why'd you say no? You don't think it was a fair result? Right. Gentlemen. We got a little switcheroo today, man. We have got a quiz, but it's not. I won't be doing the quiz today. Stoney will be the host today.
Oh wow!
Yeah, Stoney will be the host. I know
Let me,
you're dying for this.
I am.
Let me kind of get a pen. Hold on.
Please do. Yeah. So while you're going to get a pen, I actually thought what would be interesting for us to actually do this week. Obviously, Artie's the main host of Cop Talk, and I think even though Artie's obviously been able to provide the quiz, he's never had an opportunity to be on the other side. So with Artie's blessings, this week we're going to do a quiz, something a little bit different this week as well. So all we're going to ask you to do is don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Anybody that's actually watching, I was going to say you can get your pen and paper as well. I know you're not. I know we're not going to be able to see whether you've got anyway. So this is Vinny. I know Vinny's still in here, and I also know Billy's in here as well. All right. So this is all about Liverpool. Okay. This is now in recent years. Now I know we look quite youthful on the panel here, and when we've done other quizzes to do Liverpool, people have said, "Oh my God, these were like in the 70s, 80s, and 90s." So we're going to do something a little bit closer up to date. All right. So there's going to be two parts to this quiz. All right. So first part of the quiz is there's been some of Liverpool's most famous players have decided that they wanted to try out management, and some have been more successful than others. All right. So there's going to be two parts to this. We're going to be looking at ex-Liverpool players that have become youth team managers.
Oh, Jesus.
All right. We're going to be looking at ex-Liverpool managers that become youth team managers. And currently there's 7. Okay. And then we're going to be look at ex-Liverpool players that have become first team managers. And originally I said to Artie, I've got 18. I've actually got 20 here. All right.
20.
I've actually got 20. So this is the key thing we're going to ask everyone to do. All right. If you do know the answer, that's fine. All I'm going to ask Artie and Tabriz to do is on your screen, click on private chat. You guys cannot see the comments that anybody in the group's actually putting down. Any of the viewers are putting down. All right. So the first part is going to be, I want you to try and name 7. All right. So these ex-Liverpool players that have become youth team managers. All right. Youth team managers. And there's 7. You can start writing down anytime you want to.
I've started. Trust me.
Do I need to be giving anybody any clues?
No.
So you're saying youth team managers at Liverpool or just youth team managers?
Youth team managers. So these are ex-Liverpool players and they've become youth team managers globally. So they may become a youth team. I'm only giving an example. They may become a youth team manager in Scotland. They may have become a youth team manager in Thailand or, East India or in South Africa.
Oh, Jesus.
All right. So we've got ex-Liverpool players that have become youth team managers, and we've got 7 of those as well. Vinny, Bingy, I see Bingy's joined the chat. Bingy, I'm glad you're here, sir, because I know when we've had Liverpool quizzes before, they haven't been, more up to date. So Bingy, if you've just joined the show, there's 2 parts of this little quiz that we're having this evening. Some of Liverpool's most famous players decided that they want to try out management, and some have been more successful than others. So the first part of the quiz is, can you name 7 ex-Liverpool players that have become youth team managers? Billy, I see you got one of them in there. Yes, sir. That's already on my list as well. Thank you very much, Mr. Billy Smith. I don't want anybody using that. What's that app called? That Chat GTP or whatever it's called to be trying to get answers. How many have you got at the moment, Tabriz?
2.
How many you got at the moment, RT?
3, maybe 4.
Okay. I see Mr. Conway's thrown something here you know what's happening here? This show is so popular, people are actually not on the feed, but they're sending messages to me on my phone, you know. So Con, yes, you are correct. I can see, Con, the answers that you've put down, you must be talking about the top two people have been first team. Yep. Yes, Con, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Those do feature as part of the 20, Con. Those are for the first team. I want you to try and tell us who the youth team managers are. So we've got 7 at the moment. Okay. Right. Vinny, I like those as well. I didn't have the last person, Vinny. I can see that. Billy, yes, I like that last answer there, Billy. That is the fold for one of the youth team managers. How much more minutes do I need to give you, RT or Tabrice?
I think that's it, man. I'm done.
Okay. Happy. So even though my countdown is not going to be as good as RT's, he usually goes bing, boom, bing, bing, boom, bing, bing, boom, bing. So Artie,
and then you get
you've got tell me what youth team. So what ex-Liverpool players have become youth team managers? And these are globally. All right. Now I've got 7. Right. Tell me
7.
I got Torres, Fernando Torres.
Okay.
I got Arbeloa.
Yeah.
Mascherano.
Okay.
And I'm sure I remember seeing something about Vignal in Scotland.
Okay. So you got 4, yeah?
4.
All right. Tabrice.
Okay. I've got 2 because I was stuck. I've got Emil Heskey.
Okay.
And for some reason, I've put Rob Jones.
Okay. Okay. So with Emil Heskey, by any chance, what team would that be as a youth team manager for Emil Heskey, if you don't mind me?
I think it's Leicester.
And what about Rob Jones?
You know what? I don't know, but I've seen him in a training top, in a coaching top.
A Liverpool training top. It wasn't the same one that Billy's got, is it? What training top is that?
You know what? Let me change my answer to Billy Smith.
So Billy Smith. RT. So you've got Torres, you got Arbeloa, you got Mascherano, and you got Vignal, right?
Yeah.
For bonus points, if you want to try bonus points, you're just happy with those 4. Torres, what team would that have been if
that was Atletico. I know that.
Okay. Go on.
Arbeloa was Real Madrid.
Okay.
Mash was Argentina, but I can't remember where Vignal was. All I remember is it was something to do with Scotland.
Okay.
But I can't remember what team.
So at the moment, in this first round for the youth team, RT's got Torres, Arbeloa, Mascherano, and Vignal. All right. Now he managed to get bonus points because for Torres, yes, it was Atletico under 19s.
Yeah, I know that.
Arbeloa was Real Madrid under 19s. Mascherano was Argentina under 20s.
Under 20s.
Yeah, you're perfect. Yeah. And you can remember Vignal's first name?
Gregory, innit?
There you go. It was Dundee under 18s.
Dundee.
Remember, he went back up to Scotland as well,
right? I saw something about it, yeah.
You got 2, 4, 6. You got 7 points there, right? For that first round. Tabrice, I'm going to have to give you a no point on that first one there. All right? So let's see if anybody else, we're just going to see if anybody else has actually thrown up anything here in the feed. If you guys want to click over to the comments, we can see what everybody in the group has got. So we've got Billy Smith, and he had Gregory Vignal as well. Dundee under 18s, that was correct. Vinny, we're going to come back to those other questions afterwards. Billy Smith's, obviously Torres, down at Madrid. The other answers I can obviously see as well. I'm going to tell you who they were. So the other people were, we had Arbeloa. Yeah, that was fine. We had Mascherano. Do you remember Alberto Aquilani?
You know what? Okay, you know what? Let me just say something. Billy Smith, definitely Google that. How the hell does Billy Smith know Aquilani?
Yeah.
Billy,
he weren't even old enough, was he?
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Come on, absolutely
running around in his nappies when he was playing.
Exactly.
Yeah, he had So yeah, Alberto Aquilani. He ended up doing the under-19s and under-18s at Fiorentina, and he was also their assistant manager as well. All right.
Okay.
So Aquilani was another one on there. Do you remember Igor Biscan?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. He also managed the Croatia under-21s.
So does Billy.
And I'm going to throw something in here as well for you as well. I'm going to throw something.
Billy's got to happen. Billy's got to happen.
Can you guys remember our American goalkeeper? Can you remember the name of our American goalkeeper?
Brad Friedel.
Brad Friedel. He managed the USA under-19s.
Can I get a point?
Yeah, and he also did the New England Revolution as well. So for the first round,
I should.
First point. What was that 1 point for?
Brad Friedel.
For saying Brad Friedel.
Brad Friedel.
I did.
When? After I did. So the first round we've got RT leading on 7 and Tabrice on 0 points. So the second part of the game now, the second part of the quiz is, once again, some of Liverpool's most famous players decided they wanted to try out management. Some have been more successful than others. All right. Now, this part here is ex-Liverpool players that have been first team managers. Now, I'm just going to throw it out there. First team managers can be men's football and women's football. Okay. First team managers in men's football and women's football. So I have got 20 players.
Jesus Christ,
right?
Come on.
This does not include Kenny Dalglish, and it does not include John Barnes. All right. So doesn't include Kenny Dalglish and does not include John Barnes.
Why?
Because they're too old. And some people that have said in the show before, they want something that's a little bit more closer to modern times. All right. So 20 players. While you guys are thinking about it, if I can ask RT and Tabrice just to click on your private chat so you don't actually see the comments. And all I'm going to ask is anybody that's tuned into the show, start putting some of the players that you think have been first team managers, for, as you said, for either men's teams or women's teams globally. All right. Globally. So think of teams in Turkey. Think of teams in Norway. Think of lower league teams. Think of teams in, Turkey. Think of teams in Germany. Think of teams in Australia. Think of teams in the Swiss team as well. Also, there's a few there's 2 players that have actually managed national teams as well, you know. All right.
Yes, you're right. Yes.
Yeah. I've got one. Let's see, I've got one. Yeah, I've got 2 players that have done national teams. Yeah, 2 that have actually done national teams as well. All right. If you guys get 10, that's still good though. Let's see if anybody's putting anything down here. Billy's doing. Yeah, Billy's definitely got this chat GP thing here, man. Okay, and you know what's quite interesting? They've got 2 players here that I didn't even know about. That's not even on the list. So we'll have to see. How many have you got down so far, RT?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7.
How many have you got down to Brees?
You said it,
I've got
man.
9.
9.
Yeah, but again, who knows?
What? He's got 9.
Someone's put down a player here, and that's going to throw me off. Give you guys a couple more minutes, all right? I'm going to put this down as well.
Yes.
Who's put this down here? We've got a comment from, you guys don't look because I need to see it. So London Vets Ballers, I can see at 11:16 p.m. you have put down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players. The second player you've put down is not on my list. Would you mind actually putting down what team they actually managed, me, please? They're not actually down on my list. So that second, you put down 5 player. The second player that you've put down, if you can put down what team they managed, they're not actually on my list at the moment. It doesn't mean that they didn't manage. It's just that when I was trying to do my research, it didn't actually pop up. So if you could tell me there, I would deeply appreciate that. Oh my gosh, I forgot about those other players. You see, that's the beauty. That's the beauty of this. The beauty of this. Thank you, Vinny. I remember the name of the team now. Thank you very much. I know who it is. I remember. Is anybody near 10?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
How many you want to Breeze? If you guys get to 10, that's cool. We can rock and roll with 10. There's a couple other names that's popping up here, which is brilliant as well, actually. You got 10?
I've got 11.
Woo! Okay. So we ready? Are we ready to fire away?
Shall I go first?
Okay, so tell me who you've got first then, Tabriz.
Okay, so I think I've got 12. Shall I give you all of my 12?
Yes, please, yeah.
Okay. Some are a stab in the dark.
And if you can as well, because I know other people are doing other things here in the comments, the names that you mention, try and see if you can also tell me the team that they manage. So that way I know you're not trying to wing it as well. So go away then, Tabriz.
I mean, okay. Well,
if you don't know the teams, it doesn't matter, but we'll see. Go ahead, sir.
Jan Molby, I believe. Patrick
you know when I'm saying to people, don't go that far back, but you got Jan Molby. Go on.
As I'm saying, I don't know how far.
Good.
I think Jason McAteer, but I don't know if he was joint manager with John Barnes. I'm not sure.
Okay.
John Scales.
Okay.
Stefan Honcho.
So you know what's happening though? People are just gonna be out here just mentioning names though, innit? There's no extra oomph to it. Tell me the teams.
You know what? I mean, I'm kind of going on what you said in terms of going around Europe, and because you said Switzerland, I'm thinking Honcho's from Switzerland. So okay. I'm not trying to put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah. Keep going.
I'm just.
That's good logic. Good logic.
It is because they said the bonus points are going to be if you can put a team to the player. So go ahead.
Okay, so Robbie Fowler, again. You said Australia. I don't know what team.
No problem. Keep going.
Alonso. Oh, is it Real Sociedad? Is it Real Sociedad? Anyway, yeah. Okay. Gerrard, of course, Villa, Rangers. Souness, Graham Souness.
You know what I'm saying?
He's come back before Barnsley.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like I did. So
We weren't going to try and go that far back,
Okay,
but anyway,
okay,
keep going.
cool.
He did state that to Reese a couple of times as well.
Okay. Harry Kuehl. The
Okay,
team, I want to say, is it Crawley?
Someone put on here John Toshak. I know John Toshak. We're not going to go that far back though, London Vets ballers. And Phil Neal. That's we're going back a little bit too far. I said try like 2000s from 2000 to present time.
Okay. Well, you didn't say from 2000. You know, you actually did say from 2000.
Yeah, more just, but yes.
Okay. So, all right. Okay. So you might as well etch out Keegan. And again, I've literally put down Heskey. Okay. Leicester ladies.
Bro, you got a nil point for Heskey earlier.
I know he does.
But literally, I thought, let me try Heskey again because literally, but literally,
fishing.
Literally, I know that he's in management, but I didn't know if he's at youth management.
Okay.
I'll give him that. I'll give him that. He's persistent.
Yeah, that's me done.
All right, cool. So from I'm just gonna put down from my list. I've got what you said. I've got 3 from 3 that you've mentioned are on my list. All right, just 3.
Okay.
Let me hear yours. I remember Archie, you get bonus points if you can also have the player with what team they actually manage as well.
Get your pen ready. Yeah, I'm good to go. All right.
Okay.
Nigel Clough, Mansfield.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Gerrard, obviously Villa and Rangers. Paul Ince.
Oh my God.
Yep.
Where was that? Paul Ince? Say that again. Yeah.
Okay. The next 2, I'm not sure of the teams, but I know that they went into management. Dirk Kuyt and Aga.
Okay.
I can't remember the teams.
No problem.
Konchesky. Paul Konchesky was West Ham Women. Xabi Alonso is Bayer Leverkusen.
There you go.
He played for Real Sociedad.
Yeah.
Christian Ziga, but I can't remember the team.
Okay.
Rigobert Song, Cameroon.
Yeah.
You made me think of that one when you said internationals.
Okay.
Fowler, some Aussie team, and Babel. I can't remember.
Okay. So you got up to 11, right? Mm-hmm. So you've got Clough, Mansfield, Gerrard, Villa, Paul Ince, MK Dons, Dirk Kuyt, Aga, Konchesky, West Ham Women's. You got Xabi Alonso, Ziegler.
Bayer Leverkusen.
Okay, perfect. You got Ziegler. You got Rigobert Song with Cameroon, and you got Fowler, and you got Babel. Yeah, Marcus Babel. So listen to this. Listen to this madness.
Hey, Tariq, is that salt I can see there?
I think so. He's got his dice game going on here, right? So we've got do you remember Nuri Sahin? Remember I said he actually ended up being the manager of Antil Spor in Turkey?
Turkey.
He ended up being he was actually the manager for 2 years. Oh. So we got Norris. Didn't we get him from was it Borussia Dortmund?
I think so.
I think we got him. And you were correct. You mentioned Daniel Aga, HB Koig. He actually managed as well. He actually went back home as well. So that was good. He went into management. He did it for 5 years. You mentioned Dirk Kuyt as well, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dirk Kuyt management. ADO Den Haag.
Mm-hmm.
He did it. Do you remember Andre De Sena? We had a right back.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, right back.
Andre De Sena.
Short Italian guy.
There you go. He ended up managing. He manages a team called Renat. And he's been here he was our left back, wasn't he?
I remember he let scored one of the goals against United.
Yeah.
Okay. So we had Andre De Sena. Who put down? Oh no, you didn't. Oh, it was in a thing. Remember, what's his name? John Arne Risa went into management as well.
Yes.
Back in his home country.
Ah.
And he's also the sporting director there before. So John Arnorisa. And you're correct with Paul Ince. It was also, you put MK Dons. Remember, he was managing at Reading as well, innit?
Yeah, I said Reading and MK Dons.
Yeah. Christian Ziga.
Yeah.
Christian Ziga went into management as well.
What team? I can't remember the team though.
Alberto Riera went into management. He was a manager at Galatasaray as well. Paul Konchesky, you're right about the West Ham women's. Rigobert Song,
Cameroon.
which obviously mentioned, which was perfect. We had
Keegan.
Not Keegan.
No, Keegan.
Listen. Hold on. Someone's put in the comments now. They switched it back. Keegan was manager in 2000. Remember when England won 5-1?
Yep.
Okay. So none of you guys mentioned Kevin. No, you know what? Tabrice mentioned Kevin Keegan. Tabrice mentioned Kevin Keegan. All right. So I'm putting down it. I take that back. I apologize. All right. Jan Kromkamp, he was our right back.
Yeah.
He went into management. You're right about Nigel Clough down at Mansfield Town. That was correct. Who else do we have? Xabi Alonso, you're right, at Bayer Leverkusen. Sami Hupia and Marcus Babbel. Do you remember Hupia? They both were managers. Sami Hupia was in charge of Bayer Leverkusen. And he was also in charge. I didn't even know this, you know. He was actually in charge at Brighton as well.
No, I didn't know that. No,
Sami Hupia was in charge at Brighton between 2012 and 2024.
Really?
Marcus Babbel was at Hertha Berlin. I mean, sorry, 2012, 2014. Sorry. Marcus Babbel was at Stuttgart and Hertha Berlin. Do you remember we also had a Argentinian defender, Mauricio Pellegrino?
Yeah.
He was manager at Southampton. Tabrice mentioned Robbie Fowler, which was fine. And do you remember we had what was that defender with the blonde hair?
I mentioned Fowler as well.
Yeah, you did.
Some team in Australia.
Sorry, yeah, you did. And we also had the last one. We had Abel Javier. Do you remember with he used to have the blonde afro?
Yeah.
He was a manager of Mozambique national team.
And also, I don't think you've said Harry Kuehl.
Harry Kuehl was in there as well, but okay, I'm going to leave Harry Kuehl down. He wasn't on my list, but I know some other bit. Oh, and you know who else was on this? Stefan Honcho.
Yes,
and I put down Stefan Honcho as well, right? Yeah. So let me just mark these up here as well, and then we're going to see who's got the bullet. So we got 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12, 13, 15, 16, 17.
I don't really like this anyway, so it's rubbish.
There's that salt again.
1, 2. We got 1, 2.
Long man, Jesus.
4, 6. We got 7 for Tabrice. So what's the ride? So in the first youth team competition, we got Artie had 7 and Tabrice had 0. And in the second for the main, we had Artie had 17 and Tabrice had 7. So the results of this week's quiz is Artie 24, Tabrice 7. And you know what my parents used to say?
Oh, waste of time.
It's the participation that's the most important thing. So blessed to both of you.
Not just a pretty face, peoples. Yeah, not just a pretty face. Yeah, I'm quite
a little bit different.
I must say, I'm quite happy with that.
I like that.
I'm quite happy. Yeah. All right, just briefly before we go, gentlemen, everyone keeps talking about this Sadio Mane being suspended for punching Leroy Sané in the face after the game against Man City. And people keep saying that Bayern no longer really want him. They're claiming that he's not the player that they got from Liverpool. I've seen some jokes about they got his twin brother and not the one from Liverpool.
But when they're back in training, didn't you
take him back?
Wasn't I was reading that there was an apology, obviously met, and they were both back together in training today. That I could be completely wrong.
Well, it says he's been suspended and fined.
Right. Okay.
Was the latest news that I saw as well. Yeah, suspended and fined.
Does anybody know what triggered that?
All I know is there was an argument on the pitch between the two of them.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, Mane would work. It's more Mane seemed to be cussing Sane, but I don't know exactly what for.
Okay.
And then yeah, whatever happened afterwards, he banged him in the face, mate. That shit get banged. Not the Mane that we've all come to know, is it really? This humble individual who does so much for his country and everything back home. But maybe that could be the frustrations of not playing and everything just pent up and built up.
I think injuries, and again, sometimes you can move to another club and the system just doesn't suit your style of play. That's why football is so subjective, and a great player at one club could be an absolute flop at another.
Very, very true. I just had to show one last comment before we left. I just picked that one at random. What they say, yeah, fighting happens every week in pro clubs. And they're saying apparently Mane split Sane's lip.
Okay.
I've got one more question or comment. Can we now finish the saga of JB now? Is that case now closed?
What case?
I think you see, if we're out here washing our linen in public and we make things commonplace, then the chances of us getting that target is going to be very limited. I think we've all, expressed our own opinions about this target with JP coming, and I think JB coming, and I think one of the things we've mentioned and everybody else is aware is the value and it's the cost. Is he worth it? Yeah, he is. But is it a figure that Liverpool would be in a position to actually manage and actually pay for this player? I'm being honest. No, I don't envisage it. And if it doesn't happen, I just wish him all the best wherever he actually goes. I hope he excels.
He doesn't come to us, don't come to the Prem.
I hope he excels and he wins as much honours as possible. But it won't surprise me. And I'll be honest, if he doesn't come, I'm not going to be disheartened. It's not because I don't like the player, but I think I'm quite as realistic as everybody else here on the panel as well. We were never going to be in a position to be able to pay a player paid that amount of money for the player. I mean, look, let's be honest, right? If it was, let's just play devil's advocate here, right? Say, for instance, that contract was over 5 years and we were able to do partial payments over those 5 years. That may be more realistic. But let's be honest, Dortmund, they're not a little club. When it comes to getting value for their players, they want money up front. And I can't envisage Liverpool being able to pay that volume of money up front for that player. So for me, the discussion for me is over. It was over before anyway, but I just think it's similar to what Tabrice was saying. We just have to shelve that now.
I think the thing is that Liverpool went in with, they reckon that Liverpool went in with a bid of 86 million. Obviously, Dortmund won 100 plus, and Liverpool's turned around and basically saying they're not going to spend that 100 plus on one player when they could put it to use to buy more than one player, basically, because obviously they know they need more than one player.
That makes us look. You're right in saying that, but that also makes us look quite silly as well, because I think everybody in the world knows that will be a £100 million plus for that actual player. So that would be like me going into a sports shop, me seeing a certain brand of trainers and it's for a certain price, and me saying, "My boy, I know it's for 100, but I beg you give me for 75 because I've only got 75." They'll look at me and think, "Is it? Come out of my shop." And I think that's going to be the same thing with Bellingham. Everybody knows what his value is. So regardless of whether he wants to come to us or whether his parents, his agents, they said, yeah, the package and everything definitely wants to come to you, Dortmund are going to make sure they get the value that they think this player's worth. And I can't envisage it being less than £100 million. So Liverpool aren't in a conversation if we can't get anywhere near that. We best don't even get to the table to have a conversation.
Well, give them the 86 that you offered and Naby and Ox. So they've got ready-made replacements.
No way.
So they've got ready-made replacements, mate, ready to step in. So you don't even have to go out straight away and spend that 86 million. You've got 2 players. So when one's injured, you play the other one. You understand?
I think for me, I think like the biggest lesson here, and it did sit very uneasy with me, is like how we disrespected Borussia Dortmund. We were talking as if Jude had already signed 2 years ago, and that's the biggest disrespect to Borussia Dortmund, because I wouldn't like it if a club was talking about our that player for like 2 years.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it wasn't good. Yeah, it wasn't going to happen. Not at that £100 million mark. And so yeah, let's now focus and try and get in ready-made replacements to kick us forward.
And you know what, to Brees, the other thing that would be quite disheartening if the so-called purchase of him did fizzle out and it wasn't going to happen. What would even be more disheartening is 2 transfer windows, we didn't even bring in any midfielders, and supposedly it was because we may have been trying to get the money together. So we've wasted 2 transfer windows knowing that we need midfielders, didn't get them, and still not even going to try in a position to actually get our A target. That for me will be even more disheartening about everything as well. But yeah.
I don't know. Sad to see. But do you not reckon then that if that's the case and we haven't got the finances to go and purchase him, do you think it is then time that FSG then sell up and get somebody in who can back the manager in the way that's needed? Because really and truly, a club like Liverpool should be able to be making those kind of purchases.
I just don't see it. I think if anything with FSG, why I'm not too upset about FSG is when they came in, they explained what they're going to be like. And for all of the period of time, they've remained exactly like that. If I come to your house and I'm telling you I got stinking feet, and then I take off my shoes and my foot stink, I've already told you that I got smelly feet, innit? You already know what the deal is. They came in here, we already knew what they were like. So if they're not now going to purchase any big players, we can't be upset about it. They've came in, they've explained what they're going to be like, and they've remained like that.
We spent 75 million on Van Dijk.
True.
No. We didn't spend that money. That was the money from the Coutinho sale to Barcelona.
Oh yeah, because they got him and Alisson, innit?
Yeah, exactly. But they didn't give us all that money up front. They only paid some of that. They only paid the rest of that money about a year ago.
Yeah, but
Coutinho. Remember that? Yeah, and that was enough. That was I think they owed us about 25 mil, 30 mil. They only paid that about a year ago, 2 seasons ago.
But
we didn't get all that money up front.
Yeah, but still, it was like still money that was owed.
Yeah.
So there's a kind of different process there. But you know what? Hey, like there are still quality players. That are ready. I mean, I want to throw in another name who I think that could actually thrive in a Liverpool team, which we've like not spoken about, is Eze at Palace. I think I think you could probably get him for 40-50 million. He's like young enough.
He's more and more and more.
Yeah, and he kind of plays with that Bellingham swag as well. Yeah. So it's a more reasonable priced midfielder that would again thrive in a kind of big club like Liverpool.
But is he the kind of midfielder that we need though right now?
Oh,
we're talking about central midfielders who boss a game. Well, that's what we're really looking at. To be honest.
But you know, let's say, and again, you know, I don't want to disrespect Palace. You know, I would guess you could probably price him away for 40, 50 million possibly. So that would leave another maybe 40, 50 available to actually get a player that could, you know, shore up, you know, the like midfield. I'm trying to think of a player possibly, you know, I still like McAllister. Casado would probably cost about 60 million.
They're saying 70 for Casado.
They're saying 70, but you know, I think they'll be happy with anything, you know, 50 upwards. I like really think that there are like players out there that would enhance the team better than what Bellingham would have done. And yeah, we all know exactly what we need. And I think we've all said that Bellingham wouldn't be just a one player that like could have changed our fortunes. And you know, again, he's like young enough to actually go to Madrid or PSG and still come to Liverpool at 26, 27 and still have an amazing influence on the team.
Okay, gentlemen. Okay, peoples, we are going to leave it right there. Definitely going to leave it right there. Thank you very much for joining us, everybody. It was been a blast. It's been a pleasure once again. And I won the quiz. Unlucky for Reese.
I mean, there was only 2 rounds anyway.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. Lovely, lovely. Hey? Oh, man. Where was Preds when you needed him, eh? Yeah. Great stuff. Peoples, do remember, once again, we will be back next week, Thursday. Each and every Thursday. This is the only place to be come 10 o'clock at night. Well, to Breeze, 10:05, say, yeah? 7 minutes past 10, you can say, yeah? But normally, me and Stoney will be here at 10 to start you off. All right, peoples? Do remember that. Hit that link, that like, that share, and subscribe. And do remember our sponsors, globalmappingsurveys.com. Yeah, it's all about them. Hit them up, mention Cop Talk, and you'll get a discount. So, my peoples, God bless. Thank you very much for having us. To Breeze.
Before we go, let's kind of talk about the Clock Talk versus United agenda.
May the 7th, peoples. May the 7th. It's down there at Rayners Lane Football Club. All right, 5 Farm, Rayners Lane, 5 minutes from Rayners Lane train station. Cop Talk podcast will be playing Man United, the Man United Agenda podcast. Okay, there's only one winner.
Only one.
You heard it here first. There's only one winner. Yeah. I don't do losing, peoples, as you saw earlier on in the quiz. Don't do losing.
You know that we're on the same team, you know.
It's crazy.
It's gonna be a blast, people. So yeah, come down, man. It's a fun day out. You know what I mean? I've got facilities for the kids. Bring the kids down, come down. And I heard the weather should be good around that time as well. So yeah, come and make a day of it, man. Guys, I'll make a day of it. All right, my peoples. Take care. Stoney.
Thanks very much, Artie, for hosting an amazing show once again. Thanks to Bruce as well. And thanks everybody for tuning in today as well. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Brilliant quiz, Stoney. Well done, mate. I like that.
Okay, how many times are you going to say that, man?